Let's get started with our first news. Arman goes off on Paddy Pimblett's UFC ranking. Arman was on the Ariel Helwani show when he reacted to Paddy Pimblett receiving the number 5 spot on the lightweight rankings. He doesn't believe that Paddy beat anyone worthy of that ranking, only defeating the 12th and 13th ranked fighters, Michael Chandler and King Green. Here's what Arman had to say. So, 100% got to be mean. No way they can give petty people that fight. Everybody is gonna laugh at them now because I'm #1 contender. I proved it again, and what do they want from me, you know? I went there, performed, just destroyed Hooker. And they want to put the guy who is fake in the rankings. Did you see he moved up to 5 now this morning? Did you see that, bro? How can you beat like number 12 or number 13 and become number 5? I was beating everybody in our division too. I was on a 5 or 6 win streak to get into the top 15, you know, and this guy just beat 6 people and he's number 5. Arman also called out Ilya for his inactivity, pointing out that he hasn't fought since June. He thinks the UFC is trying to build Paddy up as a superstar while protecting him from real fighters like himself. Arman wants Ilya to prove that he is a real fighter and accept his call-out. According to Arman, Ilya cannot move up to 170 without defending his belt first. He said, he's trying to find easy fights to defend that belt and go up. The UFC is trying to make him a superstar and defend the title because right now he cannot go up to 170. He didn't defend the belt. You've got to prove you are a real champion. Arman's frustration is clear, as he believes the rankings are being inflated to justify a fight for the title. While he has already proven himself against top competition, he emphasizes that victories over top-tier fighters are what truly earn a place in the rankings, not just beating lower-ranked opponents. His message is direct, passionate, and full of intensity, leaving no doubt that he expects recognition and fair treatment in the division. Arman's call for Ilya to defend his belt and prove himself as a real champion highlights the ongoing tension in the lightweight division and the fight for legitimacy in the rankings. The UFC's ranking decisions are under scrutiny, and Arman's reaction shows how fighters feel about the importance of merit and respect in the sport. His determination and confidence are unmistakable as he continues to demand the fights he believes he deserves. Move on to another news. Ian Gary responds to Khamzat's deleted tweet. Gary didn't hold back as he addressed what Khamzat had posted before removing it. Khamzat's message was blunt, not a champion. White boy, you will not survive 1 minute in my world. Gary responded calmly, but with confidence, showing he isn't intimidated. I definitely would, Gary said, and I'm pretty sure we're both white, so I don't know what the point is. His reply highlighted the absurdity of Khamzat's threat, while keeping the tone cool and measured. He didn't take the tweet personally, but he made it clear that he is more than capable of standing his ground in the octagon. Gary continued, I think you're right. You know what I mean? I definitely survive a minimum. I have no plans of going up to middleweight anytime soon, but if he wants to do that, I'm getting the ready. His words were sharp, emphasizing that he is prepared for any challenge, at any weight, against any opponent. Gary's confidence comes from his preparation, skill set, and unwavering belief in himself, making it clear that Khamzat's attempt to intimidate him won't work. He also addressed the idea of proving himself, stating, do I need to prove myself, Ariel, or does everyone understand? Anyone, anywhere, anytime. With this, Gary asserts that he's ready to face any fighter, under any conditions, showing no fear and complete readiness for combat. His response sends a message to the entire division that he is a serious contender and refuses to be disrespected or underestimated. The exchange between Ian and Khamzat may have started online, but it underscores the intensity and mental games that come with being at the top of the UFC. Gary's cool, calculated, yet firm reply illustrates his maturity as a fighter, proving he doesn't need to overreact to trash talk, but is always ready to back his words with action. His statement highlights the respect for skill and readiness over bravado, showing that preparation and confidence outweigh empty threats. Gary's response is a reminder that fighters like him are always prepared, mentally and physically, for any scenario. He shows the world that challenges can be met with calm strength and strategic thinking, not just aggression. His focus remains on proving himself through performance, making him a formidable presence in the lightweight division. Khamzat's deleted tweet may have been intended to provoke, but Gary turned it into an opportunity to show composure, confidence, and unwavering readiness for any fight that comes his way. Move on to another news. Islam Makhachev spoke about the possibility of facing Ilia Topuria next, and his response was measured, practical, and full of insight into the realities of competing at the highest level of the UFC. When asked if he would be willing to fight Ilia, Islam didn't dismiss the idea, but he made it clear that any decision would have to make sense for him both professionally and physically. Next, why not? Islam said, showing a willingness to consider the matchup. He didn't shy away from the challenge, but he also emphasized the realities of age and the toll that weight cuts take on a fighter's body. He explained that a fight with Ilia would require a significant incentive to make it happen, given the physical strain involved in dropping down to 155 pounds. It would have to be a very good offer for me to start cutting back to 155 because I'm not young in this sport anymore, and every weight cut takes years off your health, Islam stated. His words underline the harsh realities of professional MMA, where fighters must balance ambition and career advancement with long-term health. Islam's approach demonstrates the careful consideration that elite fighters must give to every fight, especially when moving between weight classes. Islam's comments also reflect his respect for the sport and the athletes within it. He doesn't take challenges lightly, and he is fully aware of the physical and mental demands required to compete at the highest level. By highlighting the impact of weight cuts on health, he sets a standard for how top fighters approach their careers, valuing longevity and performance over reckless decision-making. He acknowledges the potential excitement and stakes of a fight against Ilia Topuria, but he balances that excitement with pragmatism, showing that even top contenders must weigh risks against rewards. Islam's response reveals his maturity, experience, and strategic mindset, as he evaluates matchups not just in terms of popularity or hype, but in terms of the practical realities of fighting and sustaining a long, successful career in the UFC. Ultimately, Islam Makhachev's stance on a potential fight with Ilia Topuria emphasizes the careful planning, discipline, and respect that define a true champion. He remains open to opportunities, but never at the expense of his health or career longevity. His measured response reinforces that elite fighters make decisions strategically, considering every aspect of their physical, mental, and professional well-being before stepping into the octagon. Move on to another news. Arman reveals a huge mistake he made at UFC Qatar. Before his fight with Dan Hooker, Arman admitted that he made an error during the face-off, headbutting Dan in the first moments, and he reflected on how dangerous that moment could have been. I mean, if you ask me now, that was my fault. That was a big mistake. I shouldn't have done that, Arman said. He openly acknowledged that the action was impulsive and could have changed the course of the fight entirely. But you can control yourself, It's like automatically, in the first 5-10 seconds, I cannot control myself. That's why it's a little bit dangerous. His honesty shows a fighter aware of the fine line between intensity and recklessness, and the risks that come with high-stakes moments in the octagon. Arman also praised Dan Hooker's character and resilience, expressing surprise at how calmly Dan handled the situation. I was surprised how Dan Hooker is a man. He could just say, "Guys, I got hurt. Just give me my money. I'm going to get ready for the next one." That takes balls, Arman said, recognizing the professionalism and courage it takes to stay composed under such provocation. His respect for Dan is evident, and it highlights the sportsmanship and mental toughness required at the elite level. He reflected on the intensity of the face-off, emphasizing that moments like these can be unpredictable and even dangerous. The early adrenaline and emotions in fight week can lead to split-second decisions, and Arman's admission demonstrates his self-awareness and willingness to take responsibility for his actions. "That was my fault," he repeated, underscoring the importance of learning from mistakes in a fighter's career. Arman's candidness provides insight into the mindset of UFC fighters, showing that even at the highest level, moments of error happen, and acknowledging them is part of growing as a professional. He highlighted that controlling emotions is critical, especially in high-pressure situations, and that recognizing one's mistakes is as important as celebrating victories. By revealing this incident, Arman not only shares an inside look at the tension and intensity leading up to fights, but also shows maturity and accountability. His honesty and respect for Dan Hooker's handling of the moment make it clear that in the octagon, skill, discipline, and character go hand in hand. Arman's reflection reminds fans that behind every fight, there are split-second decisions that can have a major impact, and how fighters manage these moments defines their careers and legacy. Move on to another news. Max Holloway called it stupid that Arman headbutted Dan Hooker during their face-off at UFC Qatar. Max didn't hold back, pointing out how reckless the move was and how it could have serious consequences. "That's stupid. You're not getting paid at the weigh-ins. You're getting paid to fight," Max said. He emphasized the absurdity of hurting your opponent before the fight even begins, warning that it could easily lead to the fight being canceled. Imagine you hurt your guy before the fight. The fight is off, bro. You've got to be really stupid to do something like that. Lose your pay for what? The emotions got the better of you for a little bit. So stupid, Max added, making it clear that actions like this have real consequences in the UFC. Arman himself seems to acknowledge the gravity of his mistake and has openly expressed regret. In an interview with Ariel Helwani, he reflected on the incident, saying, "If you ask me now, that was my fault. That was a big mistake. You shouldn't do that. It was automatic. I couldn't control myself for those 5 to 10 seconds." Arman's honesty shows a fighter who is willing to own up to his impulsive decisions, even when they carry serious risks. He also praised Dan Hooker for his composure and professionalism during the incident. "I was surprised how Dan Hooker is a man. He could have just said he got hurt, taken his money, and got ready for the next one. He has balls, and I really appreciate it." "He's not a Jack Hermanson," Arman said, highlighting the courage and character Dan displayed in managing the situation calmly. His respect for Dan reinforces the importance of sportsmanship and mental toughness in the octagon, showing that true fighters remain composed even when faced with unexpected challenges. This exchange between Max Holloway and Arman emphasizes the fine line between intensity and recklessness in MMA. While emotions run high during fight week, moments like these illustrate the potential risks of letting adrenaline take over. Arman's reflection, combined with Max's criticism, serves as a reminder to all fighters that discipline and control are as crucial as skill and strength. Ultimately, the incident sheds light on the mental and emotional demands of UFC fighters. Arman's candid acknowledgement of his mistake and his praise for Dan Hooker's professionalism demonstrate maturity, accountability, and respect within the sport. The story highlights that even elite athletes are not immune to split-second lapses, and how they handle these moments can define their reputations, careers, and legacies in the UFC. Move on to another news. Georges St-Pierre defended Islam Makhachev's performance against JDM, calling it absolutely brilliant. He praised Islam for his skill, composure, and dominance throughout the fight, highlighting how impressive it was to watch him perform at such a high level. "Right now, I think the best punk was probably Islam. I mean, I was there. I witnessed his performance last Saturday. It was freaking brilliant. Unbelievable. You didn't. I don't think he even took a punch. It's unbelievable," Georges said, emphasizing how complete and controlled Islam's display was. His words reflected not only the technical mastery, but also the mental focus that Islam showed in the octagon, making it clear why he is considered one of the elite fighters in the division. Georges also addressed critics who might downplay Islam's victory, particularly those who focus on the fight going to a decision. A lot of people would be like, "Oh yay, it was a decision." These people, I'm sorry, because they don't know the art of fighting. They have no idea. They don't understand the art of fighting. His performance was freaking amazing, he explained. Georges highlighted that winning decisively over 5 rounds, especially against a tough opponent like JDM, is no small feat, and it demonstrates superior strategy, endurance, and skill. He also praised Islam for moving up in weight and defeating JDM in a higher class, a challenge that is incredibly difficult even for top-tier fighters. The way he went up in a weight class and beat JDM like he did is freaking hard. Georges said, pointing out the physical and mental demands required to succeed in such circumstances. Georges also reflected on what the fight might mean for JDM, noting that losing a decision over 5 rounds can be harder to process than being knocked out or submitted. For a fighter, it's harder to take when you lose going into a decision, but getting beat for 5 rounds and knowing that, man, you're far. You didn't get clipped. You didn't make a mistake. You lose because that guy is just that much better than you, he said. Georges suggested that this experience could either be JDM's downfall or serve as a wake-up call to improve, work harder, and rise to the occasion. Ultimately, Georges St. Pierre's analysis praised Islam's performance while giving insight into the mindset of both fighters. He highlighted the technical brilliance, strategic intelligence, and discipline Islam displayed, showing why he continues to dominate his division. His words also underscore the mental toughness required in MMA, where a decision loss can be as revealing as a knockout, motivating fighters to reach higher levels and refine their skills. Islam's victory over JDM is a testament to his growth as a fighter and his ability to overcome challenges, even against top competition in a higher weight class. Move on to another news. Islam Makhachev spoke about the current state of the lightweight division and the possibility of facing Shavkat Rakhmonov next. While he acknowledged the excitement around the idea of a matchup with the undefeated Rakhmonov, Islam remained practical and focused on the realities of championship opportunities. He emphasized that there are multiple contenders at 170 pounds now, and he expects to find out who he'll fight next in a couple of weeks, showing patience and strategic planning for his career. Islam also addressed the question of whether Rakhmonov would receive a title shot despite being sidelined for the entire year. He hasn't fought for over a year. A contender can't sit out for a year with injuries and then come fight for the belt, Islam said, highlighting the importance of activity and consistency for fighters at the top level. He pointed out that staying out of competition for extended periods makes it difficult to justify a title opportunity, no matter how talented the fighter may be. He further explained that if Rakhmonov recovers and the UFC decides to give him the title shot, the organization would need to consider the risks and fairness to other active contenders. Islam's remarks reflect his understanding of the competitive nature of the division, where opportunities are earned through performance and consistent activity, not just reputation or hype. His approach shows respect for the sport and for fighters who remain active and continue to prove themselves inside the octagon. Islam's perspective also underscores the strategic mindset of a champion who prioritizes preparation, timing, and maintaining a clear path to defend his title. He recognizes the challenges of fighting someone who has been inactive for a long period, noting that timing, readiness, and performance levels are critical factors in determining a fair matchup for a championship fight. His comments indicate a thoughtful approach to his career, where every decision is measured to maximize both his performance and legacy. By addressing the situation with Rakhmonov, Islam demonstrates the balance between staying engaged with the competitive landscape and maintaining focus on his own training and preparation. He remains confident, disciplined, and patient, aware that championship opportunities must align with both fairness and readiness. Islam Makhachev's insights reveal a fighter who is not only a skilled competitor, but also a strategic thinker, carefully navigating the division while ensuring that every challenge is met on equal footing. His perspective reinforces the importance of activity, consistency, and timing in the fight game, showing that true champions consider every aspect of the sport before stepping into the octagon.